We'll see now what actually oscillator means. Oscillator is an electronic circuit which gives the output waveform without applying any input. Any input meaning any AC input. Anyhow, any electronic circuit will need some DC power supply. How it will generate the waveforms without applying any AC input, we will see now. So to understand the oscillator, we have to see some of the basics. Circuit shown here is a negative feedback system. So before coming to this negative feedback system, let us say one amplifier is having V in input, now we'll get V naught output. So this amplifier is having some gain A. So the gain is unstable as this amplifier shown here is in open loop configuration. The output of the amplifier is not stable, and some of the parameters we want to improve. So from this open loop op amp 2 we came to, we apply on this open loop op amp, sorry, on this open loop amplifier we applied a negative feedback, and we try to get the amplifier with negative feedback. So if we apply a negative feedback on amplifier, we will get a good stable gain and stable output and good improvement in the parameters of the amplifier. So, and how we say that is a negative feedback is there, the applied input and feedback signal are 180 degrees phase shift is there, then I can say that circuit is employing negative feedback. And you please observe, among the all the amplifiers, inverting amplifier is more popular, right? Inverting amplifier is more popular. So you just observe here, if you apply Vs like this, you will get at the output of the inverting amplifier 180 degrees phase shift. So if you compare this and this, there is 180 degrees phase shift is there. Fine. So here you will get 180 degrees phase shift with the whatever the feedback signal is there, that is 180 degrees phase shift with the input. But you just observe here, the beta network not introducing any phase shift here. So whatever is applied at the input is applied at the feedback network is like this waveform. You will get at the output also same waveform. Means phase shift, no phase shift is introduced by the feedback network. Now we'll see that if the feedback network is not introducing any feedback, then the circuit is employing negative feedback. So can I convert this negative feedback system to positive feedback system? Is there any possibility? Can I convert this negative feedback system to positive feedback system shown here? To do that, what I need to do? Only the sign is there here. I need to make that plus. How I can make easily? And what is the definition of the positive feedback system? If the input and feedback signal both are in phase. So to that to happen, what I need to do, whatever the beta network is there, if the beta network is introducing 180 degrees phase shift, the beta network is introducing 180 degrees phase shift, so that the output you are getting at here is like this. If the beta network is able to implement 180 degrees, if the beta network is able to give 180 degrees phase shift, then you'll get at the output of the beta network the waveform shown here. So that already minus is there, this minus is plus, this minus and this minus will becomes plus. So and you have compare this waveform and this waveform, you see both are both are in phase, meaning negative feedback system, negative feedback system, and in that beta network introduces 180 degrees phase shift. Then this overall system will act as positive feedback system. So this property only I will use. I will use to design the oscillators. So you just observe here. This is the block diagram of the positive feedback system. Positive feedback means the input and feedback signal are in phase, that is 0 degrees. So how we will achieve practically this? So in a evolution of designing good amplifiers, from open loop op amp to you came to some closed loop op amp. So in the closed loop op amp, the best type of feedback is negative feedback. If you employ positive feedback in an amplifier, that makes the gain again unstable. That's why in a closed loop system, that too I applied only negative feedback to get the gain stable gain. To get the stable gain, we applied only negative feedback and amplifier. Then that amplifier becomes closed loop amplifier. Now we have some more advantages. So this feedback amplifier I will use. I will use now. Oscillator means amplifier with positive feedback. Oscillator amplifier with positive feedback. So please note, for oscillator the applied input won't be there. This won't be there. For oscillator application, this won't be there. We'll just see. You may ask sir how it will generate all those things. We will see. And the feedback gain of the positive feedback is a by 1 minus a beta. A by 1 minus a beta. So denominator you just see is more than 1, right? More than 1. 1 minus is there. So denominator you will get less than 1. Sorry. Less than 1. Denominator less than 1 is there, obviously. So the resultant, if let us say a equal to 10, 10 divided by 0.1, you will get 100, right? Means if the amplifier is having a gain 10, if you employ positive feedback, then the resultant feedback gain is increases drastically like this. That makes the output unstable. But this property we will use to create an oscillator. These unstable oscillations we will use to create a oscillations. So one thing you are clear that we can convert negative feedback system to positive feedback system by simply the feedback network introducing 180 degrees phase shift. Then the negative feedback becomes positive feedback. Remember these properties, we will see now. So whatever we discussed there, based on the previous background, we will try to understand what is this Barkestern criteria. Whatever we discussed, we'll try to summarize it as a some points. So those will be proposed by this scientist Barkestern. That's why the name given to this as Barkestern criteria. There are mainly 2 points are there. One is A beta. A beta means this one. This is some loop, right? This is some loop. This is some loop. So this loop gain is A beta. A beta. Then in that A beta will have a magnitude and will have a phase. Then Parker says any circuit to generate sustained oscillation. Sustained oscillation means stable amplitude and stable frequency. To generate stable amplitude and stable frequency, it has to satisfy these 2 points. The loop gain has to be unity, and the loop phase has to be 0 degrees or 360 degrees. Second point you already understood, I guess, because you just see the feedback signal and input signal of the amplifier has to be 0 degrees phase shift. Then only I can say that that is positive feedback is there. To tell that in a circuit positive feedback is there, you can say this: the phase has to be 0 degrees. So let us consider the inverting amplifier, most popular feedback amplifier, inverting amplifier. If you apply V in, you will get 100 degrees phase shift output at that. And you just see here, this is the block diagram of an oscillator. So basic inverting amplifier, we are employing some feedback, and feedback signal equal to beta V naught. So anyhow we are using that voltage series only here. So now we are trying to modify that voltage series feedback amplifier circuit to some oscillator circuit. Means inside an oscillator there will be some amplifier will be there. Only thing is, for that amplifier we won't apply any external input. External AC input we won't apply. So we'll try to see some internal input only will be given as input. What is that we will see. Now you just see here already, as here positive feedback is employed, so the inverting amplifier will have a huge gain. Because of that huge gain, the input noise of the amplifier will be amplified and available at the, say let us say here, very small noise is there. Because of the huge gain of the inverting amplifier will be amplified and available at the output of amplifier. Again the signal is fed back as input again here. Now that signal again amplified will get more amplified signal. So based on the loop gain, you will get increasing amplitude, like this, or sustained oscillations with the same frequency. All this depends on decaying oscillations like this. So all this depends on, this is for loop gain greater than 1. This is loop gain equal to 1. This is loop gain less than 1. So based on the loop gains, the output of this circuit will be increasing oscillations like this, or sustained oscillations like this, or decaying oscillations like this. So we will see that in coming discussions also. So ultimately, to get the sustained oscillations, we need the loop gain should be 1. Then only you will get the oscillations which is useful for us. Like that, without applying any input, the circuit will able to produce some output wave shape. The input noise of the amplifier will be amplified because of the high gain. Those are further and further amplified, and finally you will get some suitable wave shape at the output of the amplifier. And we'll see some of the relationships. So here basic amplifier, A, VA is the input of the effective input of the amplifier, and V naught. So basic amplifier consider A equal to V naught by Vi. So we will get V naught equal to AVI. But Vf equal to beta V naught, you know that. And if you substitute V naught value from this V naught value, if you substitute, then you will get this formula Vf equal to A beta into Vi. So here the feedback signal, if the feedback signal has to be equal to Vi, then this A beta has to be 1. A beta has to be 1, right? If A beta equal to 1, then only whatever the feedback signal is coming, that will be that will be the appearing as at the input, or else the, if it is varying, then the accordingly you will get, either this oscillations or this oscillations. Accordingly you will get these oscillations or these oscillations, which is no use for the user. So that much importance is there for the loop gain. A beta, A beta is the loop gain. So A beta equal to 1 meaning, so here A beta magnitude will be 1, phase shift will be phase shift will be phase or angle will be 0 degrees or 360 degrees. From this discussion only, those 2 points were framed. So any circuit, if it has to produce some oscillations, has to satisfy these 2 points. Has to satisfy these 2 points. These 2 points are called as Barkaston criteria. Barkaston criteria. So the two conditions are required to work the circuit as an oscillator are called Barkaston criteria for oscillations. So that is Barkaston criteria stated as points here. You just read it once again. And whatever I discussed previously, if A beta is greater than 1, then you will get wave oscillations like this. A beta equal to 1, you will get sustained oscillations. If A beta is less than 1, you will get decaying oscillations shown here. So ultimately, whatever is used for us is these oscillations. So this is about how the oscillator will generate the oscillations. So any doubt till here? Moving on to the next classifications. Classification of oscillators based on the different classifications, we can classify like this. Based on the output waveform, we can say if the output is sinusoidal, we can say those circuits are sinusoidal oscillators. If the output is other than sinusoidal, either it is a square wave or triangular, then we can call those circuits as non-sinusoidal oscillators. So based on inside circuit components, if you use only inductor and capacitor, we can say those oscillators are LC oscillators. If we only use resistor and capacitor in feedback network, generally this LC and RC are used in the feedback network, so we are called as RC oscillators. And based on the output, low frequency oscillators or audio frequency, the frequency, if the output frequency range, output signal frequency range is between 20 Hz to 200 kHz, then we can say that particular electronic circuit has low frequency oscillators or audio frequency oscillators. Other than this frequency, whatever the oscillators will be called as high frequency oscillators. The frequency range is from 200 kHz to gigahertz range. And please note here, all these are independent classifications. Let us take one circuit is a sinusoidal oscillator. That sinusoidal oscillator can be LC oscillator or RC oscillator also. So all these classifications are independent to each other. So same circuit can come under all these three classifications.